taking on a new role this year. I guess how exciting is that for you? And I guess what is in store for the team now with you in that position?
I'm over the top. I'm elated. I mean, I can't sleep because I'm so fired up. First day of school type feeling. You just never forget that one, that feeling. But I'm extremely honored to be in this position and really excited just to work in the new capacity and have these new opportunities and just continue to coach football. We're going to be a competitive, very, very competitive football team. I want competition. From the coaches. I want competition from the players. I want everything about us. This defense is about competing.
It seems like this was something that was kind of expected to happen, with you being named the co-defensive coordinator ahead of last season and Clayton getting all the attention that he got, and it was kind of like, when was he going to, not if he was going to move on to a bigger job. But I mean, learning from him, I guess, what was that experience like? And I guess, how does that help you now?
I think it was awesome, because when I first got here in 2017, that was Coach White's kind of his first time really truly coordinating on his own. So for me being, kind of right behind him and in his heels throughout the process, that experience was invaluable, just to be able to watch him grow and watch how he did things. And, he would always tell me, hey, watch this, watch that. And just to kind of grow with him, I think was a tremendous opportunity for me. And, I learned so much. And I think part of his growth was my growth as well.
Coach Tyler Mansfield. Go ahead, Matt.
Tyler. Go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Tyler Mansfield, Rivals.com here. I guess for you, the coach under Coach White, you've been a part of the defense since you've been here. And obviously the linebacker core is really good. Just the way you guys have been playing defensively the last 2 years, you guys are obviously one of the best, group of 5 teams defensively, and, top 20 in the country in some categories. Just to stay in the same kind of mix you've been a part of, how helpful is that to be able to just kind of step into somewhere you already been for so long?
Sure, yeah. I think there's always, football coaches, players, programs are all creatures of habit, and I think especially when you do something well, I think it helps a lot to have that vote of confidence to know that, I can kind of rest my head on that there's a solid foundation. Now, every season's different. Every season brings its own, new opportunities, new situations. So you can't sleep on it, but, you can rest your head and just having that comfort in your back pocket.
Coach, this is Matthew Hargrove with the College Heights Herald. If you had one word to describe how you would like to see your defense play or react on the field, what would it be?
Attack. Period. Point blank. We don't want to be caught on our heels. We want every facet of the defense to have an attacking mindset, and I think that works well with being competitive. When you compete, you're trying to win. You're trying to get the edge. That puts you on the attack.
Coach Jeff Lighty from WKU. Like you said, you're not new to this program, but are there any changes in your style of coordinating that we might see this upcoming year? I know you haven't, it's still early in the off season. But any kind of changes that might take place this fall that maybe is a slight different than what Coach White did?
No, I mean, yeah, the last thing he said to me was be yourself. When you're trying to figure this whole thing out, do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? Like, oh my gosh, I need to do, you're thinking about all those things. And, it was real comforting for his very last words to me was be yourself. And I think, obviously as a coordinator, you're a leader of that side of the ball. And I think more than anything, they're just going to take on more of my personality. I am passionate about football. I love football. My dad, is a linebacker. My brother's a linebacker. I got 3 sons. Probably a Sam Mike in the wheel, something like that. But just football's in my blood, and I just think that passion. If you're passionate about something, it should show. More than anything, I think if they're a reflection of me, you're going to see a very passionate group that's competitive and ready to attack.
Coach Sherrod with the Daily News again. In terms of the staff, is that staying pretty much intact? And is there any plans to hire someone to, I guess, replace that opening that would be there?
Yeah, everybody's still here, which is also another thing that was nerve-wracking, that the guys may, get other opportunities or go or move on. which they certainly in their right to. But everyone's still here and intact, and that helps. Having a group of guys that you've worked with and they know how you are, they know the system, they know the expectations of the defense and the standard that we have to uphold. We're going to try to find a guy to come in and help us in the secondary role. We're going through some names and doing our homework, and hopefully we can settle on the guy here to get someone in to fill that void so we can get going and they can get familiar with the players. But we're not in a rush. We definitely want to make sure we have the right guy. Fit's very important to me. Make sure he gels with the staff because we enjoy coming to work and we like being around one another. So I definitely like to keep that going.
Coach, forcing turnovers throughout the season was a little bit of an issue last season. What are some things that you can change to turn that around?
I think one of our things we talked about as a staff was just our approach, in the weight room. I think some of the things that we can do is get a little bit stronger, lift a little nastier. I think we have, some guys with some good intentions, but I think having that pop behind you, when you hit, that's that extra oomph that gets the ball out. When you go to punch at the ball as a DB, you get a little more strength knocking that ball out. It's in the air. Someone else gets a tip. So I think, increasing our strength will add to us having a better strike, a more violent strike, which leads to more turnovers and just allowing us to win. You got to get tips and overthrows to get interceptions. I think being able to push the pocket up front and being able to get that paw up, that's how you get a tip. That's how you get the ball overthrown. I think the DBs being able to finish with more strength knocks the ball out. And then, again, if we're attacking and competing and with the effort I expect to see, we should come up with those turnovers. And then we also got to make the ones that come to us. We watch tape and we got a good amount of almost. We got a saying that almost doesn't count. So the ones that come to you, you got to make those. That's what we're counting on the guys to do, and those are the things that we'll stress.
Coach Jared with the Daily News again. In terms of players coming back, it's obviously a weird year with the extra year of eligibility. So, heading into the offseason, we weren't exactly sure who was coming back. We've seen a few guys announce they're going to try to go to the NFL with Dev and Deontay, and I believe it was Trey was the other. But, I guess who are you expecting to have back? And I guess what's the unit looking like, especially with some of these new guys coming in too, a lot of transfers?
Yeah, well, we're excited for the guys that we have, the guys that decided to come back and play football here for WKU. I think it's shaping up really good, with a mix of what we have with the mix of what we're bringing in. I think, again, that's going to increase the competition in the building. We really like the players that we have coming back. We're very fond of them, and they've been in the program and know the system. But we also wanted them to be pushed. We want guys that I would tell them every year. Our job is to bring somebody in who can replace you, and that's just a matter of fact. Now, your job is to keep the spot, and I believe that honesty is going to lead to competition, and guys are going to want to play. So I think you're going to see a whole plethora of guys that are just kind of like where this guy come out of nowhere. Just through timing. The guys that have been in the program and the guys that are now coming in the program, stepping into that light. I think we'll start to see a lot of production from a lot of people.
And I guess, do you have like a list of guys that are coming back or expected to come back? I think I saw Jeremy Darvin on one of the podcasts. He said he was expecting to, or I guess, can you share a little bit more on that?
Sure. Yeah, I got Darvin's coming back. Malone's coming back. Kincaid's coming back. Trying to think of the older guys. Who else has played a lot? Mari Alexander's coming back. Senior. As of now, Malik Staples he's coming back. As far as the seniors go, those guys are coming back. And then some underclassmen to think about. Nick Days is a guy we're really excited about. Obviously, Ricky Barber, his continued success is going to be huge for us. Jawan Jones is coming back. Beanie Bishop, Don Bradshaw at the corner position. Those are guys who played some football for us here. And Clay Davis. Clay Davis will be back as well, coming back with him trying to be healthy. So, again, those guys have played a lot of football for us, have been productive. So we look for them to be the nucleus of what we have on defense and mixing in some of those new guys to either push them or hopefully some of those guys can take a spot, if not make us better.
Coach, it's Jeff Lights from WBKO. You mentioned a lot of guys that played a lot of football and had a lot of success at WKU. How does that – like, I mean, I can sure that makes you very excited taking over for this season, having a bunch of guys that's made a bunch of plays here on the Hill as your first year as full-time defense coordinator.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. Again, it's just I think anytime when guys know the culture and know exactly where to go, I think it makes it very easy to push those buttons. I think that allows for you to be able to simply focus on the scheme rather than the overall makeup of the defense, because these guys have already been here. They put in work. They know the expectations. They know me. Again, my time as a special teams coordinator, so I've had a chance to kind of be around the team as well. So I think that it kind of makes for a really, really perfect match for guys, with me trying to be successful in my first year and a bunch of guys who've played a lot who wanted to continue that success.
And, to kind of go off of that, with all these guys returning, do you expect things to kind of stay the same schematically for you guys?
Yeah, for the most part, I think so. But obviously, when you're bringing in new pieces, I think we in our past we got a pretty extensive package that allows our guys to be successful. So as we go through spring, winter, spring, summer, we're going to certainly identify what our guys do well, what they're comfortable with, and I want to do a whole lot of that because I want them to be successful. Because obviously, players play and coaches coach. So if they're playing well, I'll look like a good coach.